Hello and thank you so much for tuning into this video. My name is Caymian, and in this video we are taking a segmented clip from a much longer clip that I posted a few weeks ago, kind of overviewing a discussion I had with my sister. In this video, we're going to be talking specifically about a framework that we came up with called the Overcoming Obstacles Framework. Basically, in this framework, we're going to talk about kind of going from a place of don't know what you don't know, kind of falling into this kind of scary area in a know what you don't know, facing doors of fear that kind of hold you back, kicking them down, and then facing the wall of opportunity, putting in the effort to really be able to achieve your goals. And then at the end of the day, you're coming out bigger, faster, stronger, and you can look back on your journey and kind of realize that there was a twist in there, which you'll find out about more in the video. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy. So after I discussed like what I had good in the week, my sister described what she had good in the week. And so what she was telling me about was on an interview that she had at her job today, because she has to interview people for her role. She basically was like thrown into the deep end, trying to interview somebody to get information for a project she's working on. And normally she's kind of like writing notes and asking follow-up questions, but she's kind of like a third party in the background, if you will. She's been in plenty of interviews, but she's never given an interview. And so today, it was kind of like the first interviewer did their thing and kind of dropped off, passed the ball. Then the second interviewer did their thing, then passed the baton. And then she picked up the ball, and she just kept on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And what she was talking about was she always believed that she had the skill set to be able to interview people properly and well. But her thought of thinking that she's a skill set, thinking that she knows that she has a skill set, and thinking that she can achieve the outcome with that skill set in her mind is very different than actually using that skill set IRL in real life and actually achieving that outcome that she believes is possible in her brain and in her mind, right? And so, the fact that like she was so happy that, in her words, she hit a home run with the interview, that it went super well. It just kind of like when she dove into the water, it was just like bliss, if you will. It was just kind of like so easy, back and forth. The thing, like that question just kept on coming to her. The conversation was so easy. She was getting great information and all that stuff. I'm just like out here doing like a little dance move, whatever. And it just worked so well, And she, like I said, in the words I use, like it was serendipitous, It just kind of, she was thrown into a situation, and it turns out that she just excelled in that situation, and it was fantastic, And so, there's two big things that I wanted to discuss on this, or, that we discussed that I wanted to share with you. And the first one was that first idea of, like, the idea that you think that you can do it, you think you have the skill set, and you believe what you can achieve, right, in a perfect world, in theory. But thinking that you can do something and actually doing it, like I mentioned a moment ago, are two very different things, right? And so kind of as we were talking, because I asked her, I was like, look, I also have thought about this. Like, I believe that I have certain skill sets, like I kind of mentioned a minute ago, like being introspective, thinking about things like on a deep level. Like, do I think things through well? Do I think about things in a way that I can decipher them well to help others and position them for a place to succeed, as a coach would, if you will? So that's just a small example. And so, I was asking from my perspective, I also think that I have skills that I'm good at, that I would be able to achieve great things if I implemented them. But thinking that you can do something, and then, thinking that you can be a certain thing, but then actually doing it in real life are two very different things. Because what happens between thinking you have the skill or maybe knowing you have the skill, and then thinking you could, achieve a certain outcome with that skill, and then actually doing it and applying it, the barrier in between this right here in the middle, that's fear, that's judgment, that is a uphill battle, that is a mountain, that's Everest in front of you. That's like this big mountain that's staring down on you, like, oh, you want to achieve your goal because you think that you have the skill set, because you think that you have the chops. Well, I'm however many thousand feet high. Yeah, you can take it step by step, but it's a lot of steps, dude. You know? It's really, really hard. And not only that, there's the fear of people judging you for trying. There's the fear, especially, there's the fear of failure, which is a big one for me. There's the fear of other people's criticisms. And another big one, which I don't think gets talked a lot about, or maybe it does, I'm not paying attention, is you try and you don't actually succeed how you thought that you could succeed in your mind. You put in your best effort. You did your best, and it still wasn't good enough, and you weren't what you thought that you could be in here. What you thought you could be in here didn't actually happen out here, and that's devastating. One of the biggest things that people don't want to find out is the truth. The truth hurts, it stings. And if you can do anything you can do to avoid the truth, then people will do that. And so we were kind of talking about this journey, and like for some reason, I just like, my sister mentioned like, you know, when she started out doing the interviews, she kind of was like, oh, I could do this, absolute bliss, you know, like, but don't know what you don't know. And then once she kind of came in as a third party or as like a backup person or like just taking notes as a coordinator or whatever, she kind of fell into this cataclysm, this valley. And she said, then, or I said, or whatever, like, now you know what you don't know, and now you're like scared, because she said that when she first started, she thought she could do it for sure, but then as she got experience seeing other people do it, she fell in this chasm of, I don't know if I can do it, because now I know what I don't know. There's a lot to it, so her confidence actually got lowered by knowing more information, and that's how this whole picture kind of came into my mind. And so as we're talking about that, and like you're in this cataclysm, and then over here there's this huge mountain, like I said, there's this huge mountain staring down at you. It's Everest. You know what I'm saying? And so what I used to think, it was like climbing this mountain day by day, day by day. Oh my God. But like that's a lot, obviously. But what I came to realize is, like I said, that fear of failure, that fear of judgment, that fear of, you know, I'm not, like, if you actually try hard, you're actually not going to succeed like you thought. Like, that is a choice. You basically, when you're in this chasm over here, it's not a mountain you have to climb. It's a door that you have to break through. You have to stare at a door. It's like a mirage almost, like, or it's like a fake. It's a phony. That, you know, that mountain is the mountain, but you have a door in front of you. And I'll get to the mirage and a fake in a second that applies. And you basically look at that door and you have to say, I am either going to stand here and just stare at this door while fear of what is beyond this door consumes me forever, or you gotta kick the shit of that door. Kick the shit down of that door and attempt to face the fears and see what's on the other side. And so, like with my sister today, she was forced to kick down the fucking door. She was literally forced by her boss. And so here she was, and that was my other question to her was, what did it feel like going from what you thought like climbing the mountain would be? What was the thought process? What did it feel like between like thinking you could do something and then actually putting in the actions to then potentially know if you could do something? And so she told me, like I kind of said before, like, yeah, she thought it'd be difficult, but in real life, it was more like ebb and flow, you know? Like, yeah, she felt stretched. She felt like she was being challenged, but it was it was something she could overcome. It was in her grasp. It wasn't here. It wasn't here. It might have been like way out over here, but she could stretch and get it, you know? Might have been up here, down here, wherever. But it was possible for her to reach what she needed to reach. And so when I heard that, it wasn't so much of a mountain to climb. It was more like a wall to hop, like a fence to hop over. You still gotta jump and get your like hands over the ledge, and then yeah, it's not like you're just like in a pool, like you're like up and down, just like you're a feather. No, you gotta like pull yourself up, jimmy rig, like kind of like get one arm over, push yourself up. It's kind of shaky, it's kind of uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, once you kind of get through the discomfort, you can just kind of like, as long as you can get like your butt onto the side there, you're good. get the butt on, just kind of like, sit down, pull over your legs, and it's like hop on the other side. Like, yeah, it took some calories, took some effort, it might have broken a sweat, but like, you were stretching. You were stretching for something that wasn't easy, but was attainable if you just put yourself out there and tried. And so that's kind of like the last part of this is, in this example, when you climb over this ledge, what's ironic is you're actually kind of on the same plane as when you were at the don't know what you don't know stage. Accepting the difference is, when you don't know what you don't know, you think that you can do it and be what you want. But over here, after you go down the clism, kick the shit down the door, climb up the fence, you're over here thinking, no, I know what I know, and I know that I can do it because I just proved that I can do it. And so, like, you're over here, walking down, and then you just kind of take a look back, and you're like, wow, let me just take a look at this journey that I just came on, because it wasn't easy. I'm not saying this is easy, but it's attainable. You can overcome it. It is achievable. What's interesting about this perspective and this part of the journey is when you look back, you look back and you look up at the mountain, what do you see? You see it was fake the entire time. It's cardboard. It's plywood. It's something out of a Hollywood film set. It's like the billboards you see at the side of the highway, the ones that kind of extend just a little bit beyond what the typical billboard would be. And you look at the back, it's got a piece of plywood sticking out there, just holding that thing up. It is so flimsy. It is so fake. It is so not real. And like, that's the crazy thing, is when you look back, you're like, wow, that mountain, that insurmountable object wasn't even there. It was in my mind the entire time. And so when you look at the journey of what you actually went through, that mountain didn't even exist. It was there to dissuade you. It was there to confuse you. It was there to try to make you not do anything. Because what do humans not like to do? Be uncomfortable. What do humans not like to feel? Negative things. What do humans not like to do? Feel like they are failing and feel like they could be a laughingstock to other people and what they try to do. But once you realize that you're the one putting on these self-imposed restrictions, then you realize truly it's all just a choice. And I really do believe anyone could do anything. Maybe some start farther along than others. Yeah, a 6'11" guy is probably going to dunk easier than a 5'2" person. But like, the 5'2" person can put in the work, they can go lift, they can go do like practice, whatever. Anything's possible for anybody. It's only possible though if at the stage that you look at the door, you say, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. You're about to get blown up, door. Bang. And then yeah, you still got some work to do. Don't get me wrong. It's not gonna be like you just like jump an inch or two, but that last step between believing you have the skills to achieve what you want to achieve and actually in real life applying those skills, it's really just a stretch and feeling like you need to put in the work. You do need to put in the work, but the work is within your attainable grasp. And I know that I said, I'm actually kind of amending this right now as I'm thinking about it, like I know that I said you start on the same plane, but you don't really start on the same plane because you're actually at an elevated plane, right? Because every single journey, it's a repeat of the same process. Don't know what you don't know what you don't know, kick down the door of fear, climb up the wall of opportunity or of achievement, whatever you want to call it, and then you kind of are incrementally at bigger and better steps. So over time, you're growing, linearly, exponentially, however you want to do it, you're growing, and that's what's important. And that mountain that you saw was there, shit's bullshit. It's just in your mind, and you need to get it out of your mind and look back and say, your cardboard, your plywood, I throw some water on you and you melt away, and I kick you down, your nails go flying. Like, you ain't got nothing on me. Ooh. And the best part is, and like I wrote, and I drew my little diagram over here, is you get out of this like bigger, stronger, more knowledgeable, more experienced. You're able to tackle bigger issues because you went through the ringer before, which is very, very important to know. And that specifically, that conversation was truly eye-opening for me, and like that was I mean, really a treat to have been able to discuss that with my sister, and I'm really grateful to her for being there to help me unlock not only that thought process, but a visual for it as well. Because I think the visual just helps me out so much to be able to understand it. And like I said before, like I've been going through trying to understand that emotion, trying to understand how to overcome knowing you have the skills to do something, but then actually doing it. And I knew that fear of failure was like impeding the way, but I guess I just didn't realize how close that I was, exactly how I am today. So, like I said, just unbelievably grateful for that. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please let us know. If you wouldn't mind, leave a comment. Would love to hear what your thoughts are. What did you think? Did you enjoy? What was your favorite part? Would love to be able to hear what you're thinking and to be able to interact with you in the comment section as well. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you're enjoying the content so we know to make more of it in the future. Really appreciate you stopping in. Hope you got some very valuable information and you took something very profound, hopefully, from this video, and just really appreciate you being here. All the best, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.